tangentially related to beauty don't become my new... Oh, just hit myself in the chin. Don't become like my new... Did that leave a mark? No. Hey y'all, and welcome to Clove Room. Today is just going to be an update on my no-buy project that I started on September 1st and runs until the end of the year. The end of the year is December. Runs till the end of the year on December 31st. I am, one, making sure I don't have lipstick on my teeth, but two, I am filming this on October 20th. I plan to post it on October 22nd. So I am bit over a month and a half through this project. So I definitely already have some feelings that I'm feeling that I want to share. And I also just want to do some really rapid fire sharing about what products I've used up, because I've actually used up a bunch of makeup products during this project, and what products I brought in. I've actually brought in more products than I thought I would. I have not broken my no-buy. They are all within the realm of my no-buy. A couple of them are gifts, and then a couple of them are replacements that are one-to-one for my no-buy. So, if that sounds good to you, keep on watching. If you do end up enjoying this video, I would really appreciate it if you liked it. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. I'm on Instagram at clove_room. And if you don't have the context about this project, I do have an intro video that I will link to. If we're still doing cards, I'll put it in a card, and all of that good stuff. So what I've used up, I think at the end of this project, I'll do a comprehensive Empties video where I really go in depth. So it's going to be pretty rapid fire. And I do just, this is classic YouTuber, right? Classic long form content. It's going to be rapid fire, but not before a disclaimer that's longer than the actual rapid fire thing. I have used up a lot of makeup products so far. It's not like I used them front to back in this month and a half. A lot of these were just like hanging on by a thread, just had dregs of product in it. But, you know, my project kind of working, and that I had the time and space to use the products that were a little bit less sexy. The ones that the writing's faded on them, you have to use a spatula to get the rest of the products out. The ones that are kind of annoying to use all the way up, I finally had the time and space to do it. And that's why I think there are so many empties. So I just wanted to say that, and say it's a real benefit if you are thinking about doing a low or no buy. It's such a great way to clear out those items in your collection that you're like, if I actually devoted a month to that, it would be done. It's just I have all these cool new sexy things that I want to use instead, which I understand. All right, no particular order. I've used up so far Glossier Future Dew. That was actually today. Fenty Cream Bronzer and Butter Biscuit. This is like so satisfying. So satisfying. Glossier Wowder. Ugh, my very first face powder, and for it to be a loose powder is incredible. NYX Brow Glue, the clear one. Glossier Stretch Concealer. Completely empty. Rare Beauty 4-in-1 Face Mist. NYX Brow Pencil and Espresso. And a mini of the Ilia Limitless Mascara, which dried up like really quickly. And I did not enjoy. I hate minis. I hate minis so much. I also want to like humorously say a lot of these were actually in my project pan that I guess is now failed or discontinued. I think I would hopefully in the future maybe do like a little summary of like project pan and how I just totally lost interest, even though technically I feel like I'm doing pretty well since I've used up most of the products that were in the project. But that's another project with other products for another day. Today we're talking about no buy. And the products I had brought in. So I was gifted by family this Glossier G Suit in the shade Shift. It's like a deep red. Also gifted by same family, and this also counts as a replacement. Glossier Mascara, the Lash Slick Mascara, since I used up the Ilia. And then my friend Ivy of Face Forward fame, she gifted me the, actually that's not even the inside of the Koish palette, but she gifted me the Koish palette from Visyart. And, no, it didn't fall. Replacements I bought myself. I have bought the e.l.f. Brow Lift to replace the NYX Brow Glue I used up. And I bought the NYX Brow Tint Pen, Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in the same shade Espresso. as the next pencil I used up. Those are all within the confines of my project. I'm still going to accept gifts, and not that that happens that often. It was my, sort of, yeah, like those are all sort of pseudo birthday gifts. They happened after my birthday, but they were sort of birthday gifts. And obviously the replacements, I said I could buy replacements if I needed them. I did have, just to like sort of asterisk it, and I still do, I have a tinted version of the NYX Brow Glue. I have very stubborn brows, and the tinted version of that product just doesn't, it's not like a brow glue, it's more just like a tinted brow gel, and didn't really keep them in place. So I decided that it would be okay if I did a 1-for-1 replacement of like a really strong hold like lamination product for brows. So now to go more in depth on some of the big feelings I'm having so far. Overall, the project is going really well. I am not tempted to buy really anything. There are things that somewhat pique my curiosity. I think eventually during this project I want to do a video talking about, you know, one of those classic like what I'm using in my collection instead of the things I want to buy. But like, to be perfectly frank, so far I have not, like, I don't have a full face of things I want to buy. The first big feeling I want to share that's a little bit more specific is doing this project, I want even less than I have right now. I am doing a sub-project with this, which again, I explain more in the intro video, lovingly called the Banishment Project, where I'm keeping most of my makeup that I still own semi-decluttered in a box in my closet. And I thought I would declutter that after this project is done, and I still might, because honestly I might just not get around to it until the new year. But I am kind of just itching to like go ahead and get it over with and like divvy up the makeup I'm gonna give to friends. Probably have to unfortunately throw away a few things I don't feel comfortable gifting. I kind of just want to do it and get it over with, because I'm like, I want to fully just have a smaller collection. That's a good feeling, but it just, I'm kind of like, okay, just like get it over with and we can like finalize the collection that we do have, which would be nice, you know? Next big feeling I've been having. I have some feelings of wanting to buy things. The only one I can really strongly think of is I really want an Hourglass holiday palette this year. I actually got the chance to swatch one in Sephora recently. Oh baby, like I know they're not like new products, and I mean that's the thing with Hourglass palettes every year is that people are like, it's the same shit, man, same shit. And totally fair, I've just never had that shit, so it's sort of like, oh my god, they're just like pressing the most beautiful powder products you've ever felt into a palette, and you get 6 of them every year, and they do that every year, and it's like, I totally get that, but when you haven't been a part of it, it's like, oh my god, like they felt so incredible, the colors looked gorgeous, and like the fairest one, there's this like more intense highlighter, and the blushes look really pretty, the bronzer even looks really nice, the finishing powders, I want it, and I would maybe buy it eventually during this period if I was buying things. But I'm not, so that's fine. I think I'm just going to put it on my Christmas wish list, and that'll be that. I also don't think I have the money to buy it right now because it is $90, which is really, really expensive. So even if I wasn't in a no-buy, it might have gone on my Christmas wish list anyway, likely. But for the most part, I just like, it's easy not to want things so far because I can't, like, there's no convincing myself I can have them. There's that gift that Hannah Louise Poston sometimes talks about of the automatic no. Just having the automatic no makes it easier because sometimes it's not even the items, right? And that's why I need to do this project. Sometimes it's just like, you get excited about something new. You get excited about the potential of having a moment in 4 days where you know you're going to be happy for 30 minutes, which sounds really dark. But I mean, I think that's the thing I have to admit to myself, and I think I'm sure some of you can relate to, is that so often shopping and overconsumption, it's not even about the items you get, it's about almost like an insurance of, I know I'll have something good happen to me, and if I absent of that purchase, I'm not convinced something good would happen to me in 4 days. And that's just, you know, that's being frank, and that's some of the work I'm doing right now of how can I both use my money in a smarter way to ensure happiness, but also things that don't involve flirting with capitalist systems. Like, what are things I can just do personally that actually do ensure that feeling, that aren't as harmful as overconsumption? So just not being able to go down the trails of like, oh, I noticed there's a new lipstick I like at Sephora. Also, there's other things I like at Sephora. Do I need any skincare replacements? Do I need hair care? Now I'm going to shop, and now I'm going to be online for hours, like trying to build carts, trying to be like, what's the smartest purchase? Is there one at Ulta I can make that mirrors this? Should I go in store? When I go in store, I see another item and I decide to impulse buy it. I've spent $130 and I didn't want to spend $130 because really the one item that inspired all of this, now that I literally just can't buy it for myself, it's an easy one to be like, oh, that's fine. Oh, that's fine. I don't need that. It looks nice, but it's fine. It's been a real gift having that automatic no. Do I have dog hair in my mouth? Not like in my mouth, but like on my lips. No. Also, if you like this eye look, it is. I was watching Tom's most recent video about I think they were clearing out their testing drawer, and I haven't like really wanted this item, but they have been really enjoying the new Charlotte Tilbury holiday eyeshadow palette, which I think is funny because I think if somebody had done a beauty community ad libs and they were like, Hope Mess Tom will really enjoy the new Charlotte Tilbury holiday eyeshadow palette, like that sounds like a joke, but funnily enough they are. And it always looks really pretty whenever they put it on, and I didn't know what I wanted to do for my makeup in this video, so I was watching them in that one, and it was a similar eye look. It might have been the same one to another one I clocked of another video they did, where it's just like very warm tones with like a lavender shimmer shade or more glittery metallic shade. And so I emulated that today. And I'm not really wanting the Charlotte Tilbury holiday palette, but it was fun to get this look because I have noticed that it looks really good on them. So I used a couple mattes from, actually, I guess 3 mattes from Midnight Sun by Pat McGrath in that inner corner highlight shade. Then I mixed a couple of shades in Kaleidos Escape Pot and emulated the warm tones with the lavender. And it looks really pretty. I feel very pretty. Anyway, that's a side note. Sort of connected to that point I just made about the automatic no is not planning out shopping is saving me an embarrassing amount of time. Again, like I just talked about with kind of going down the rabbit hole of planning out purchases, I used to really, and not even like within the past year, more like year before that when I was having other mental health struggles, but I would spend half of my day just researching how I was going to buy things, or like daydreaming about purchases, daydreaming about, okay, if I buy from this indie brand, I won't be able to get this, so this I'll have to buy at Sephora, and almost just doing logistics for my own shopping purchases. And again, I think it's okay to be excited about things you're buying. I think it's okay to excitedly track a package. That's, one of the most time-honored traditions of millennials is getting a tracking number, and that being like our new emotional commitment for the week is following that package throughout the Midwest. But it's really saving me amount of time not doing that, I'm not saying I'm like reading or anything. I'm using that time to watch Suits probably, but like still notice that not having that on my mind all the time is really nice for me, and it's a really nice change of pace. Another point I want to make is I've noticed to avoid going down those trains with things I can buy. So skincare isn't really part of this. It's just makeup and beauty that I have a hard time over consuming. I'm pretty one for one with skincare, and it doesn't excite me in the same ways. I'm trying to be careful though that things that are somewhat tangentially related to beauty don't become my new, just hit myself in the chin, don't become like my new, did that leave a mark? No. Don't become my new sort of beauty shopping addiction replacements. You know what I mean? So I'm actually, in my mind, I'm using sexy a lot in this video. Good thing I'm not even monetized. But I've really actively been like, look for the unsexy purchase. like my partner and I share a lot of our skincare. So we go through things like cleansers, moisturizers, a good bit. We're about to go through a cleanser. And even yesterday I was like, oh, I could finally try the Youth to the People one. And since I'm not buying makeup, like it'd be so cool. And like, you know, maybe one day I'll try the Youth to the People cleanser that's very trendy. But then I caught myself and I was like, look for the unsexy purchase. Look for the unsexy purchase. And the unsexy purchase would just be buying a CeraVe one when my partner and I go grocery shopping once a week. Like, trying not to fall back into using the things I can do now to sort of replace this void, because I don't want to fill this void with more shopping mental games. You know, when I use up skincare, I'm really trying to be like, what's the unsexiest purchase I could use to replace this? And sometimes it's going to Target, and that involves buying a fall candle. But like, I'm not like robbing my life of joy. Like, everyone deserves going to Target and buying a $15 Acorn Spice fall candle. And again, time-honored American tradition. But just like actively being like, what's the most unsexy way I can do this? Because it doesn't, I don't need to tempt fate and go into like Sephora or Ulta constantly. Or if I do it, I need to run into an Ulta and get like a Good Molecules product. Like, I need these things to be low cost because I don't enjoy doing skincare. Actually, I don't need skincare to do what makeup does for me. I don't want my skincare to be aesthetic. I want it to be effective and I want it to work, but I don't like having too complicated of a routine. So spending too much money on it or prioritizing packaging and aesthetics like I do with makeup, and I'm comfortable with that, is just not what I actually want to be doing. So it's just being really active and being like, unsexiest thing you can do. And then I look in the mirror and I say, buy a CeraVe face wash. And then I'm like, yeah, girl, you unsexy little... Anyway, the last point I want to make is about my anxiety. And so far this project has been really easy. I have received gifts, like I said, like a few gifts from family and friends. That certainly makes it a little bit easier. But still, like, I have gone from buying a lot of makeup to not buying makeup. And I'm kind of happy. And I think it's also, I was ready to do this project. So that's part of why it's been a little bit easier. But I have this dread, and I literally have on my dock, worried that other shoe is going to drop LOL. And that's just like I'm kind of like trying not to be too cocky and being like, no buy? Like, you think a no buy is hard? It's been like the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. In my head, I'm kind of like worried I'm gonna have a bad mental health spell, or I'm going to like really want things in December, or I'm kind of worried about the Sephora sale because there's so much content around the Sephora sale and there's so much hauls and recommendation videos, and Sephora sale is one of my weak spots with overspending. So I'm going to be actively giving myself grace during that time, but I don't want to break my no-buy. Like, I'm really committed to not breaking my no-buy, and I know I won't. I like believe in myself and I trust myself, and I know I can make it through the Sephora sale. But just like, to be honest, like, that is something I'm just keeping an eye on. But yeah, there's just whenever, and you know, I think this is a trait that many of us share, but whenever things are going too well, I'm like, now why are things going so well? Like what are y'all talking about me? Are the kind fates above who have my back during this stretch, are they talking about me? Are y'all talking, like, are you gonna sabotage me? Are you kidding me? You're gonna sabotage me? So, just wanted to acknowledge that there is a little bit of an existential anxiety sometimes when things are going well for me. But I do feel good about where I am with the project. I'm, again, so happy I'm doing it. Appreciate, you know, I know some people have been sending me messages on Instagram being like, you know, when I have been like, oh, this looks nice, like, they're like, don't buy it. The no buy is more important. And I'm like, I literally was not interested in buying it, but thank you. Thank you for being holding me accountable. And yeah, I'm having a pretty good time so far. So that's my no buy update. Pretty quick and simple. If you have any questions about my project, please put them below. If you want to commiserate about your no buy or low buy, or you're also scared of the forces that will erupt during the Sephora sale, just be mindful that influencers, I just be mindful that I think influencers make this sale a big deal because it is a big deal. They make a lot of affiliate money on it. There's no reason this isn't really that much of a better time to buy something than every other time, unless it's a good time for you. If it's a good time for you and it happens to coincide with the Sephora sale, go for it. But the Sephora sale isn't a gift. It's not special. Happens every year. There's always a code that goes out after it that matches the highest percentage off that you can get during the Sephora sale, which most shoppers don't because the Abbé Rouge is spending a lot of money. So just know that influencers think this sale is special because they have the potential to make a lot of money off your affiliate links or their affiliate links and your affiliate purchases. So just be mindful of that. I'm trying to be mindful of it. I say all that to convince myself, but I actually want to do a video. I think my next video may be about the Sephora sale. Not like sale survival, but I just kind of want to discuss its like cultural force. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you all so much for watching. You're wonderful. Please like, subscribe, please comment. Love talking with y'all. Thanks so much. Bye y'all.